Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Monogatari of and Monster Season episode number 4 reaction. So the previous episode we were on the way to get back the Nadekos, the runaway Nadekos, and we confronted the flirty Nadeko first. We went to the school and Nadeko, the original Nadeko, was able to seal her in the paper. And obviously Ogi is helping us out, and then we meet Oikura Sodachi, who also has met another Nadeko, which is supposed to be the meek Nadeko. However, meek Nadeko she's not wearing anything, and she's just running around in the streets with only a bloomer, which obviously scares like the original Nadeko. She's like, what the hell? And now obviously Nadeko's like, I have to get her back as soon as possible. But before going back, she talks a little bit with Sodachi and gets to know her situation, and talk about a few things here and there. And then we are off again, and this time what's her name, Ogi goes to another direction to take care of another Nadeko, while like our original Nadeko is on the way to confront meek Nadeko and take care of that situation. So let's see what happens today. Episode number 4. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, Aragi's house. Arara. Wait. Why is there a... Oh, that's... Is Suki at home? True. Yep. What? Wow. Yeah. Okay. I know what you did there. Oh my God. Say no. Oh boy. Custard or custard. Cars are not, like, yeah. Hmm. Okay. Oh my God, calm down. Hey, Suki. What? Wait, this is not. This is the other Nadeko. This is the angry one. Yeah. And why is she wearing a? I'll never work. Oh, she was already wearing that. Okay. Forced labor. True, it is forced labor. Even if it's literally yourself. Damn. Yo. Yeah, just go back to your paper. Bruh. Oh my, she's going crazy. She cracked. Oh my god, that is not good. Exactly. And where did you pull out that from? Oh no. um, yeah. Oh god, she's gone crazy. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, she's gone. Okay, nice. Oh no! Reluctantly putting effort. Hey! Oh my god, hey, wait, did she really stab her? What the hell? Wait. Or did she like have some kind of a protection or something? There you go. There you go. Okay. I had a gun. I see. I was wondering. I was like, she broke the whole damn floor. How did that work? Okay, but yeah, she went inside. Yeah. So reluctantly. It's also, yeah, words from her heart because that's literally her. As Ogi said, they didn't time travel back. This is her. Okay. Yeah. Quick. I feel like someone's going to come in. Okay, nice. Um. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Two more left. First, Meghna dekho. Yeah. Hatsuki's dress, I think. Yeah. Oh, nice. This is the dress that she wears in the No, never mind. Is Ononoki here? It's just a telephone. It's fine. Calm down. Calm down. No! Yeah? Wait, this. Oh no! It's her! Oh no! The one you tried to kill! It's nice to hear Senju Hara's voice again. Oh no, Araragi is going to. Araragi is. Obviously, Senjuka is going to ask. Near death experience. Oh no. Okay. Rumana देखो. Yeah, but what the hell? Oh, what is that? It's Onogi's leg. What the hell? Did she? What is going on? Oh, wait, was that censorship? I think so. You know those white light? No, it's fine. She's already a corpse, so I think you can just put her back together. Yeah, you can just put her back together. Oh my god. There you go. Like I said, it's fine. There you go. Oh yeah, she didn't know about it. That's true. um. So did she come here to stop the god Nadeko? Ononoki? Yeah, can you please collect them and put it back together? That's simple. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Disadvantage. Yeah, that is true. It's just going to grow back. While a corpse, you have to put it back together. Oh. Ah. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's why Shinobu lost while fighting against. Yeah, which makes sense. Back in Koi Monogatari. Hmm. Yeah, they censored the gore part. Hmm. What's with that? Yeah, well. Ah, bruh, she dropped it. The Boku girl arc. Bruh. The Boku girl arc too. Oh my god, I can't. Her hands. It's just. So while fighting, she was doing the whole peace thing. Okay. Well. Oh. Well, yeah, obviously. Hmm. Wasn't just got another con? Oh, wait, what can Meek Nadeko do? Ah, maybe. Hmm. Okay. Well, at least it's not completely, She probably got it from somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. A lot better, I can say, yes. Yeah. Wait, that's why wait. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Hmm. She was the decoy. Damn. Damn. Ooh. Hmm. Yeah, well, but that did happen chronological order. Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. Bruh. Well, she was able to capture two of them. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta be very subtle about it. Ah! She didn't like it. Bruh. Oh, yep. What is he doing? That's what he's doing? Oh, Lord. Hmm. Hmm. She evolved as a Shikigan. Oh, that is DeFi and evolve. Oh no, yeah, that is a good point, I guess, because technically God Nadeko is reverse. Yeah, but you think that is was going to uh, two reasons. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good point. Gotta do it ourselves. Why don't we bring in the actual god? Hachikuji? Hmm. Oh, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, but I don't think that's a good idea. They can exactly. Hmm. Oh, what does she mean by that? Nice. Oh, did she like? I was gonna say she. Okay, she somehow it's gonna act as a GPS. There's my hand, literally. Yeah, it's a GPS, a tracking device. Nice. Yeah, skin of the teeth. Oh, you can do that? I guess. Yeah, where is Hachiguji? Snail. Okay. Oh, yeah, so that's not a good idea. All right. Hmm. Ooh. Like a JRPG. Hmm. Hmm. I see. Lessen the trust from the god. Okay. He favors us. Oh yeah, that is true. Oh, that makes sense. As a god, you have to be neutral, I guess, in a way. So your divinity will lessen if you be more. Oh, what? Okay, that makes sense as well. Makes sense. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But I guess this is difficult. God Nadekon, Mink Nadekon. Hmm. Oh, wait. Can we. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. I was gonna say, like, are they going to summon them back or something? Wouldn't the same thing repeat? But no, I guess Onoki was saying that no, since you exercise them, they're basically now inside of you, and they are part of you. So it's three of you. In that sense, I guess that makes sense. Okay. And there you go. That was today's episode. Another fantastic episode. We were able to capture or exercise Rat Nadeko today. Even though we were technically trying to get Meek Nadeko, but we got Rat Nadeko at first, and then we had a meeting with Ononoki, who was literally in pieces. And yeah, we had a little conversation with her, and we got to know that there's a huge possibility that the Nadeko, like Meek Nadeko, might evolve into God Nadeko, which I guess it kind of makes sense because technically, Meek Nadeko is someone who became God Nadeko later. So the fact that Meek Nadeko is Meek Nadeko now, and we have God Nadeko, because of her influence, she might evolve into God Nadeko. There's a huge possibility in that. So yeah, like then we'll have two God Nadekos to take care of, which will be kind of a bit difficult, if there's two God Nadekos. So yeah, that is why our goal now is to stop her before she does anything, or she like evolves into like her next stage, which is God Nadeko. We have to stop her before that. And obviously, yeah, like I guess will be fighting them, or I don't know like how this is going to go, but let's see how this proceeds. So as always, I this is one thing I really love about this show, like Monogatari, is that how there's like so many things that comes up, but then whenever I think of something like, oh, like why is this going in this direction, I love how immediately, or even if it's not immediately, but a few episodes later, they literally give us the explanation. So even though Monogatari is difficult to understand, this is one thing I have seen this show is able to do perfectly, is that even if it's difficult to understand at that point, if you keep paying attention and keep going on in the story, the story will tell you what you didn't understand and why you didn't understand, and will properly make you understand. So in a weird way, even though it's difficult to understand Monogatari because you have to keep up with the dialogue and everything and all the other stuff, I never found myself struggling with Monogatari. So this is one thing I really love about this. Like from the very beginning, when I've watched Monogatari, and for example, I really like that scene where, like I said, every single thing that this shows has a proper explanation to it. So when Ononoki was like, oh, I've sent my, like, I've literally put a hand on her, and that is going to be acting as a tracking device, you know and Nadeko was like, okay, then if you have your hand on her, then can you tell what God Nadeko is doing currently? And she was like, no, I cannot say that. Nadeko's like, why? And she's like, oh, because it's a hand, it's not an eye. If it was an eye, I could probably see what she's doing, but it's a hand, so I only know where she is. That's all. Which is kind of funny because I also had the same question at that point, and immediately she answered it. So I was like, okay, that actually makes so much sense. And there were multiple sections in today's episode where I had a question and immediately they answered it, and the answer really did make sense. It was kind of, yeah. So another thing, for example, in today's episode, which I'm not really sure if I'm looking too much into it or if that's exactly what happened. For example, where Ononoki says that if I thank God I was a corpse. If I wasn't a corpse and if I was like a vampire, then since vampires' powers come from blood, God Nadeko being a snake, her what did she call it? She used a particular term. Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. A snake venom. She was talking about. Here we go. A vampire and an apparition of the blood doesn't fare too well against it. Snake venom. No, wait. Where's that part? Where she says? Oh, a little bit earlier than that. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Hemolytic. Yeah, that's the term that she used. Obviously, hemo is blood, like anything related to blood. Hemolytic. Wait a minute. Hemolytic. I forgot what this term means. I used to know what this term. Here we go. Hemolytic anemia is a disorder in which red blood cells are destroyed faster. Okay, hemolytic snake venom. Let me check. Snake venoms have been shown to contain factors able to attack and disorganize cellular and subcellular membranes. Hemolysis is the expression of red blood cell membrane destruction by the action of these venom factors, which acts either directly or through a complex multicell. There you go. Yeah, so that's why she says, because it's hemolytic, vampires would not be in a good situation, when they're fighting against them. And like I said, I don't know if this is like a direct explanation as to why Shinobu and Araragi, when they went to fight Nadeko, got defeated so badly every single time. But I'm assuming it's one of the reasons. Because even if you think about it, even though Shinobu and Araragi, both of them, their symbiotic relationship kind of inhibits, like Shinobu's power. That is why she's literally in the in her child form. But still, they're quite powerful. They're still quite powerful. So the fact that God Nadeko was able to do that every single day, when I remember in Koi Monogatari, I think they kind of explained how every single day, I think like Aragi went to convince Nadeko, and Nadeko every single day literally killed him or half killed him. And so was the same situation with Shinobu. Shinobu also got defeated. So I guess that kind of makes sense why their compatibility was so bad against Nadeko, because Nadeko is a snake, while we, Aragi and Shinobu, they're both of them are like vampires. Obviously, Aragi is like a like a half-baked vampire, but still he was a vampire due to Shinobu's influence, and Shinobu's a vampire. So that's why I guess it didn't really work properly, and they were at a huge disadvantage against her. So, like I said, I'm not really sure if that is a proper explanation to this, or there was some other reason. But I can see this being one reason why in Koi Monogatari they weren't ever able to do anything to Nadeko. And also the fact, obviously, she was literally God there. People used to come and pray to her, so her divinity probably increased God Nadeko's power as well. So yeah, because of all those factors, I guess that happened back in Koi Monogatari. So that's another thing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So that's what happened actually. So like this, a lot of things was very interesting. For example, when she talked about Meek Nadeko evolving into God Nadeko, which also kind of makes sense because technically it was Meek Nadeko who transformed to God Nadeko eventually, and that might repeat itself again. That might happen again. And yeah, so that is why there is a possibility that and obviously both of them are shikigamis, so there is a possibility that Meek Nadeko might transform, and then we'll have double the trouble. Yeah, so that's another thing. Okay, now obviously now their plan is basically to go and stop her before she evolves. So there you go. That's the thing. Now I want to, like, okay, so that was that. Then the previous part with another thing I forgot to mention. During her fight with Rat Nadeko said something like, "Oh, like you are half baking your attempts in drawing manga, are you not?" Something like that. She said, like, you're not giving it your all, and the original Nadeko was like, "Oh, like, yeah, that kind of stung, because that is one thing that she has a little bit of, like, that is also like something like a doubt in her heart that she has. Like, sometimes, even if you think that you're doing something from the bottom of your heart, and you're, like, giving your all, there's some part of you that kind of nags at you and be like, "Oh, are you really doing, giving your all, or is it just one way of escaping? You're trying to run away." Like, there's some part of you that always nags at you like that. Obviously, I'm assuming that is what Nadeko was talking about here, because obviously Nadeko is serious about manga, drawing manga and everything. But the fact that she is, as we know, she has been trying for a while, and she's not really getting any proper results. So part of it is nagging her and telling her that, "Oh, are you even giving your all, or are you, like, are you really into this, or this is just your way of trying to, like run away from whatever you're trying to run away," like, and that kind of thing. So that was a doubt that she had, that Rat Nadeko literally brought to her in front of her, and she was like, "Damn, you know that is something that that is a doubt I have within me." That's why she said that. That's why those words sting. So yeah, that kind of thing. And like, I can understand where in which direction this is going. Obviously this arc is Nadeko related, so I was wondering, what is the, like, main goal of this arc. Obviously every single arc in Monogatari, it starts in one way, and then in the end we realize that there was a particular goal for that arc. Character development, or maybe of certain characters, maybe establishing a character's particular point, maybe doing something, and like some kind of a, like, something like, every single arc, obviously not only this anime, every single anime has a goal. And little by little the arc kind of goes in that direction, and in the end we get a proper result. I was wondering what goal is of this arc, and I think I just realized what goal this is. This is an arc where Nadeko is going to realize the doubts that she still has in her heart, and she'll probably, since she's literally confronting them, she will be like, trying to overcome it. For example, and I guess that is why this is the exact direction, and the way this arc is going is, she literally has to find herself. She's going around trying to find four of herself. Each of them, she has to confront, and she has to probably, and at the end of the arc, I think Nadeko will be, more sure of herself and what she wants to do, and the doubts that she has had up until now will probably be cleared, just because she was able to confront herself, not one time but four times. Four of them there are. So that kind of thing. I just realized another thing. Even in the previous episode, Flirty Nadeko, she said something. What did she say while Nadeko was trying to smack her with the paper and, like, exercise her? She said something. Let me remember. She said a particular point which struck her. Oh my god, I can't remember. I'll need to go back and see that section again, because I remember she said something. She said something which is probably similar to what Rat Nadeko said here. So that, what I'm trying to say is, the point that I'm trying to make here is that she's confronting herself in these ways, exercising them, and every single time she's doing that, she's coming across something or realizing something that will help her, like, overcome her own doubts. Since she's literally facing herself, she is facing her own doubts, and by the end of it, she'll probably be able to overcome them and be a better version of herself after literally like confronting herself 4 times. That is why in today's episode, this is one thing that Ratnadako brought up that she's thinking about now. And she's like, yeah, this is a doubt that I have, and I'll have to overcome this. And like this, I'm sure when in the next few episodes, when we'll meet Meek Nadeko and God Nadeko, they'll probably bring up some points of doubts that she has with herself that she will have to confront in front of her face to face. you know so that's how, if she's able to overcome that, that's how she'll probably, and that's the main goal of this arc. I think that's what's happening, because it's basically character development for Nadeko, and making her, like making her story complete, because in the end of Koi Monogatari, Kaiki just gave her the direction, or showed her the direction. He just showed her the direction and told her that, yeah, just, you love drawing manga, draw manga, do that, do what you like. He gave her the way, and that's where it ended. We didn't see Nadeko after that at all. And now that we are seeing her again, we can see that now that she has the path in front of her that Kaiki showed, she has started walking on the path, but still she has a lot of doubts in that, and maybe a lot of things that she needs to confront. And how is she going to do that? Obviously, that is why this arc exists, where literally 4 of herself is just out in the streets, roaming around, doing whatever the hell they want to, and she has to confront them, defeat them, and overcome them, and overcome the doubts alongside that which is in her heart. And after the end of this arc, I think she will have a very clear picture of what she wants to do, how she wants to do, and in which way she wants to do, which is obviously drawing manga. But there's a lot of things that she needs to think about that, so she'll have a better understanding of herself by the end of it. I guess that's what this arc is intending to do, which I think I can understand now. Okay, and yeah, and another funny thing I just wanted to mention again, like that whole section was pretty funny, because when Nadeko, or Rat Nadeko, literally broke the whole damn like floor with the chisel, and then she came and stabbed her with it. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Is she really injured now? But then we see that she put like papers in it, and and I'm like, wait, what? How? That doesn't make any sense. She literally broke the whole damn floor with that chisel. How did a few bunch of paper save her from that? And then they immediately explained it, and I just realized that, oh, because it was paper, so since she's a Shikigami, she wasn't properly able to stab him, because as soon as she came in contact with the paper, she literally got sucked into it. So the force wasn't there at all. If this was like a normal person stabbing her, that paper would have done nothing. It probably would have tore through the paper and stabbed her, because it's the same force that she used to break the floor. So automatically, it would just go through a bunch of paper and probably injure you very heavily. But the fact that she got saved is probably because it's a Shikigami, because since she's a Shikigami, as soon as she came in contact with the paper, she got sucked into it. So at first I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? Like, how did that paper save her? And then they explained it, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how it happened. And that makes sense again. Yeah. And oh my god, the disaster. She had to pick up the phone. She picked up the phone and she's like, hello, Sengoku Nadeko here. And over there, Sencho Kara's like, Nadeko? Like, what? Oh boy, now Araragi will be so confused. Sencho Kara will probably, meet Araragi and be ready with her stapler or her ballpoint pen or whatever. And she'll be ready to interrogate him. And she'll be like, what the hell? I told you not to come in contact with her. Why was she in your house? And Aragi will be like, what how, I don't know, like maybe how I, oh, I guess Aragi can say that maybe it's my sister who called her. Yeah, I guess that's probably what he will think himself as well, because yeah, why else would Nadeko come to Aragi's house at this point? Only because of Suki maybe. So I guess Aragi will probably think that's why Nadeko was here. Yeah. But yeah, oh boy, Senjo Gaha will definitely have a conversation with him after this. Because it's true, because Aragi's whole like personality of saving, trying to save everyone, this whole thing, that is what, like, kind of was a problem in Nadeko's situation. Every single other person that he saved, it kind of worked. But as Kaiki said, Nadeko's the only exception. If like I think this is a very good thing that Kaiki said. I remember all of Kaiki's quotes, or most of Kaiki's quotes, so much because they are so damn good. There's a thing that Kaiki said which I still remember. I think Kaiki said something like, Nadeko, no, love is of like two types. Either it can destroy someone, or it is like of a destructive sort, or it can make someone better. So like, Senjo Gahara's love for Araragi is of the constructive nature, where Araragi coming in contact with Araragi, Senjo Gahara became a person and was able to change herself and take care of her situation and be more stronger. Same with Araragi. However, Nadeko's love for Araragi is of the destructive sort, which destroys herself. She's destroying herself by, like, by liking Araragi, and that is why I remember Kaiki directly telling Nadeko, then don't, like, come in contact with him, or something like that. He kind of said that otherwise it's going to destroy you. And that is exactly the reason why Kaiki also said that after I am done treating Sengoku Nadeko and I'm done exercising her whole situation, like, I think he told Senjo Gahara this, that make sure to keep Aragi away from Nadeko, like, because I'm 100% sure, he'll try to go to her and will obviously, because of her savior, if his whole savior trying to save everyone thing, he's definitely going to try to go to her and try to talk to her or see if she's okay or not. But if that happens, everything that I did up until now will all go down the drain. So I remember Kaiki telling Senjo Hara this, that make sure to not bring Aragi near Nadeko. And I remember Senjo Hara saying something like, yeah, I'll take care of it, don't worry about it. If needed, I might say something like, who are you going to choose? Is it Nadeko or is it me? I remember Senjo Hara saying something like this. And she said something like, I know Aragi won't be able to do anything then. So the fact that Nadeko picked up the phone, Senjo Hara is going to be pissed, or she's obviously going to have a lot of question about, this to Aragi. But obviously Aragi has nothing to do with it, so yeah, anyways. And yeah, there you go. That was today's episode. So let's see how this goes and how Nadeko is able to take care of the remaining two Nadekos. Right. And yeah. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we get to see Nadeko comes to Aragi's place. Obviously, she was thinking, or she, like, from the calculations that she made, she realized that meek Nadeko is probably here. So, and this is very interesting because I guess it makes sense. Like, she said something in the previous episode, like meek Nadeko is like going around like Aragi's house, like not going in. So I guess it makes sense. She would never come inside Aragi's house because she's meek Nadeko. Like on her own, she's never going to do that. So it makes sense why Rat Nadeko was here, because she's the type of person who would do something like this, and unlike meek Nadeko. So she comes inside the house. It was like, I don't understand one thing. The door was open. Oh no, I just realized. They broke it. Okay, you know what? It took me, I don't know why it took me so long to understand that. She used the chisel, I think, to break the whole damn door, and I think made like holes in it and unlocked it. Oh my god. Yeah, I just realized that now. I don't know why it took me so long to understand that. Anyways, so she goes in and she's like, okay, like, she like readies herself to get inside the house. And then we have, the opening. This part was done really, like, this part is kind of funny because she's like getting ready and she's like, say no, and the opening starts. Obviously, if this was a Renai circulation, it starts with say no, then the whole thing. So I guess they were trying to do that, like that little funny reference kind of thing, which was pretty damn funny. I wasn't expecting the opening to play immediately after that. But yeah. Okay. Now, after that, we get to see Nadeko comes in, or as she's trying to come in, Rat Nadeko comes in with the chisel and almost tries to stab her. And she's like, obviously this is Rat Nadeko, so she's doing that, that kind of thing that she does. And she's like, what the hell? Like, what are you trying to do? I don't want to work. And I hate that, You'll try to take me and force me to work, will you not? you know. And she's like, I'm not going to help you work at all. And I love how Nadeko's like, technically this is kind of forced labor. Like, I literally gave birth to them and I'm literally telling them to do my job. So yeah, what's funny? This just reminded me of one particular like episode. I think it was a filler episode of Naruto, where Naruto, usually uses his shadow clones to do a few of the things here and there. So I remember there was a filler episode where his shadow clones were like, "We're not going to do what you say. We are on strike. We're not going to do what you want to say." And they just ran away. As far as I can remember, there was an episode like this, filler episode like this, which was hilarious. It's kind of like that, where she literally made them, and they're like, "No, I'm not going to work. Why should I work?" Just ran away. So Nadeko's like, oh, this is kind of forced labor, but I guess obviously, technically this is yourself, so I cannot really say if this is forced labor because you're literally forcing yourself to work. So but then again, these are individual characters now, like they're literally Shikigami. So in that sense, if you think about it, yeah, it is forced labor. But then again, you have to think this is literally yourself. So yeah, what? Whatever. Main point is they don't want to work, which is pretty reasonable because obviously if someone just gives birth to you and as a Shikigami and then just tells you that, oh, do my job for me, you're going to be pissed. You're like, what the hell? Why should I? Anyways, so Nadeko says, it's okay, like, Rat Nadeko, I'm not going to force you, and she's like, oh no, you're not going to fool me, and she starts throwing the chisel and towards her and everything. And then she comes in, and obviously Nadeko says that this is Rat Nadeko, so she has that type of characteristic. She's extremely strong. So she uses the chisel to just try to attack her, and it breaks the whole damn floor, or not the whole damn floor, but at least a portion of it gets like broken. It's so much that she lodged the chisel into the floor, and she's having difficulty taking it out. So Nadeko's like, oh no, if I get stabbed by this, it'll be over. So she's like, okay, like, calm down, like, chisels are not tools that are used like that. And she's like, oh, so then how is it used? And she's like, oh, it's used in a more artistic sense. And she's like, yeah, so that means you're going to make me work? I'm not going to work. I love in the jump in logic over there, she was just talking about how they're used for art purposes, and she immediately jumps in the logic, and she's like, oh, so you're trying to make me work? I don't want to work for you. Oh god. Anyways, so this is where she's like yeah, so Nadeko here pushes the chair and tries to take her by surprise, but Rat Nadeko is too damn fast for her. She trips her and stabs her in the stomach, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell? And then you see that she gets sucked into the paper. Like I said, I had my questions back then. I was like, what the hell? How can a chisel that literally broke the floor be stopped by mere paper? And then I realized, and they themselves explained, that it happened because it is paper and she's a Shikigami. That's why she was able to stop her like that. If this was some normal person using a chisel to attack you, it wouldn't have worked. The paper probably would have been torn and she would have gotten injured. But it was because it was Shikigami, it got sucked in before it was able to hurt her. In other words, I had her get caught inside the blank sheet of paper. There you go. Okay, anyways, so her whole dress is torn over here, so she needs like a proper dress. Also the fact that this whole place is just destroyed, that there's a mark on the floor, and the outside door is broken. So she's like, oh my god, like I cannot really do anything in this situation, unfortunately. So yeah, hopefully Suki is able to, I'll tell Suki everything what happened. Hopefully she's able to cover for me. I wonder what she's going to tell Suki. Like, she cannot really tell her that, oh, you know what, my Shikigami came and just broke the place, destroyed the, like, what type of excuse will he tell her? I'm trying to think, because technically if you think about it, yeah, like she cannot really say all of these things to Suki, so I don't know what type of excuse she'll come up with in this situation. Like, oh, I just went to your house, broke your house's door, went in, made a whole damn hole on the floor. Why? How? Obviously, I don't know how she's going to, what type of excuse she's going to think, but we'll see. Um, Here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Let me read this part. Did she already mention what she's going to say? There's a mark left on the floor. It's unnoticeable size. Okay. And anyways, because the front door is clearly destroyed in that manner, a perfect cover-up would be impossible. I'll have my self-centered friend Suki explain it all later. Despite, okay, no, so she doesn't really explain or elaborate here what excuse she's going to give her. Anyways, so she's like, okay, so I captured Flirty and Rat Nadeko. Now it's time for Meek Nadeko and God Nadeko. So before that, she needs a dress. So she takes Suki's dress, I'm assuming. Obviously, these are not Karen's dress, because in no way these are Karen's dress. First of all, because, you know, she doesn't know Karen that much, as much as Suki. And number two, Karen's extremely tall. You know, her dress won't fit her. So this is Suki's dress, obviously. So she grabs Suki's dress, a nice little dress she grabs, and then when she's going to go out, the phone rings. And like I said, she's like something makes her impulsively act, and she grabs it. I guess it kind of makes sense. Sometimes it does happen like that. You do something without even realizing that you did it, and your body just moves. And you know what is funny, because you know what I was going to say. Yeah, this whole like reflex action of grabbing a phone and like kind of saying hello, this was actually a thing I remember. I guess you could say I also had back when I was a kid. Obviously, I don't know if this is the same for other kids as well, but at least me, I loved taking phones and answering them. You know, whenever there's like the phone used to ring, I remember, even if I was in my room, or if I was like on the other side of the whole damn house, I used to come rushing in to the living room where the phone was, and I used to grab it. And if there was anyone who was trying to grab the phone before me, I used to be like, no, stop, let me grab it. And I used to grab it always and say hello. I remember that being a thing. So you know what, I can understand her, why she did this here. I'm assuming Nadeko was the same, probably loved to answer phones. That's why she just impulsively did that. The phone was just beside her, and she was like, oh, okay, hello, like this. And then she just realized, wait a minute, this isn't my house. This is not my house. Oh Lord. And the worst person is on the other side. Senjo Gahara. And Senjo was like, wait, what? It's like Nadeko? And she's like, I love the fact that she drops the phone. The whole phone dislodges from the wall and falls down. And she runs. Without any explanation, she just runs. And, imagine, like, trying to talk with the person who you literally tried to kill back a few months ago. Bruh, that is crazy. Yo, and she's like, I had a very scary experience. I'm not ever going to answer any phone calls from here onwards. Yo, and then she goes to the shrine expecting God Nadeko to be there, and then she finds out that there's Ononoki's like cut off parts, body parts all over the place, and she's like, what the hell? And she's like, oh my god, like, no, Ononoki. Now obviously I forgot this, but she had no idea that Ononoki was a corpse, so she was panicking. She was like, oh my god, she's dead or something. But obviously I was like, it's fine, she's a doll, and she's also a corpse. They can probably just put her back together. And that's literally exactly how Ononoki acted. Ononoki's head was like, it's fine, calm down, don't panic. I didn't say this before, but I'm actually a corpse and also a doll. So, if you just take my parts and just stick it back together, it'll just stick back. So, it's fine. Like, but I do need your help. Um, yeah, can you collect my parts, please, and put them together? I have a favor to ask of you, Nadeko. My body parts are scattered. Yeah, there you go. So she starts gathering the pieces, and Nadeko's like, but like, what will happen if I mess up? Like something. And she's like, it's fine. Like, like a few body parts here and there might be missing, few flesh here and there. Um, just ignore them. I'll fix myself later properly. For now, just make a like a makeshift version of mine. And then she also kind of says like, oh, like, if you want to, you can donate your flesh to me. And she was like, nah, man. Okay, and this is where Onoki starts talking about, oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, you can share some of your flesh with me. There you go. Okay, anyways, so Onoki here talks about a few things. Number one, she says like, obviously she confronted God Nadeko. So she's like, if I was like a normal type of a like a immortal monster, then it would have been easier, because if I was like Shinobu, like a vampire, my scattered body parts would probably just disappear and new ones will grow. So it'll probably help me help save time at that. But then she immediately like corrects herself and she's like, no, maybe not. Maybe it is good that I'm a corpse type, like a apparition, because if I was a vampire, vampires' powers are connected to their blood, and since snakes have a hemolytic, like snake venom's hemolytic, it wouldn't work well against like vampire powers wouldn't work against a snake. So there you go. Okay, so this part is so funny. I love the fact that one of her fingers are like this. So like what? When she was fighting, she was doing her peace thing. Because that's literally what she does. Like that whole yay peace. Oh boy. Okay, so this is where Ononoki says like, God damn it, like after my like I started getting involved with Suki, like all of these crazy stuff has started happening to me. Like one after the other. And then she's also like, but you know what? I should say thanks to Suki as well. The fact I became good friends with you because of that. And Natsuko's like, what? Yeah, I love the fact she drops her hand completely after listening to that. And she's like, well, why are you saying something like that? So that makes me happy. So Nadeko with you. Oh, her manga that she draws. Nadeko with you, the Boku Girl arc part 1. And she's like, is she deliberately trying to like say nice things to make me fall for her or something? I don't know how serious she's being. So she's like, she used to hate me before, didn't she? And then she's like, oh, maybe she changed her mind because her characteristics changed or something. Anyways, okay, so they start like like putting the things together, and she's like kind of getting a little bit confused with which part to put where, and it's not like kind of attaching. So she's like, don't worry, squeeze it and just put it together. It's fine, like clay. Just excuse me, just use it like clay. It's going to work like that. So after that, oh, she's like, like she's like, would you mind if I mix up left and right? And she's like, yeah, obviously. Like, what the hell are you talking about? If I swap your left and right limbs, like, how would you feel? Right. Okay, so this is where she's like, what happened? And she's like, she's strong in her own way. As you guessed, she says like, I was defeated by her, but technically speaking, I was defeated by both of you. So Meek Nadeko was there. She acted as a bait for me, and when I was distracted, God Nadeko came and stabbed me from the back. So right. She explains what happened. She found Meek Nadeko and she started tailing her because she thought that okay, I should let Meek Nadeko, just go around doing whatever she wants to, because she can act as a bait for the other Nadekos. not realizing that she was actually the target of Meek Nadeko's bait. Like, he was thinking she was going to use Meek Nadeko as a bait for the others, but she herself became the victim in this situation and fell for the bait because God Nadeko came in and just destroyed her. You know, one important piece of information Onoki tells us is that she's wearing a swimsuit. So she's like, wait a minute, swimsuit? And Nadeko's like, I heard that she wasn't wearing anything. So where did she get a swimsuit from? So she's like, and what type of swimsuit? Was it like a bikini or something? Like, you know, like, and she's like, what the hell? And then she's like, oh no, it's a school swimsuit. And she's like, oh, and she's like, okay, that's a lot better. Obviously, that's not a lot better. You're literally walking around in the middle of the streets wearing a swimsuit. That is, you know, it's, you know, like, yeah. But at least it is better than being completely, you know, yeah. So in that sense, I guess it's a lot better. But either way, she's like, yeah, I was like, you know, tailing her, and she was thinking that she could easily, you know, use her unlimited rule book to destroy her, but you know, she herself got baited. Yeah, I kept tailing her. She was clearly the decoy, so you know, it was a trap. The one who was leaving Meek Nadeko at large wasn't me, but God Nadeko, you know. Okay, now this is where Nadeko thinks like, wait a minute, I don't understand one thing, or I'm not 100% sure about one thing. The chronological order. What happened before? Oikura told me that she was walking around naked with only a bloomer. But Ononoki is saying that she's wearing a school swimsuit. So which happened first? Was that first or was this first? Like, what's going on? You know, so she's thinking about that. Yeah, which is first and which is later. Whichever was first is quite the perverted one. Bruh. Yeah, and she's like, I feel like that's a good factor here. Okay, so Nadeko here tells that Anunnaki asks like, oh, what happened to you? Did you take care of your situation in the other Nadekos? And I love how Nadeko was like, oh no, like she is supposed to be one of the specialists, like a monster, and she's supposed to be good at this. The fact that she wasn't able to do anything against God Nadeko, but if I say something like, oh, I actually took care of two of them, is she going to get mad? Is she going to get angry? You know. So she was feeling a little bit weird to say that. But you know, she did tell her that. She did explain, she explained the situation, making sure it didn't sound like bragging. Onoku's like, you know, no, don't get ahead of yourself. Acting so modest, how despicable. Don't hate me. Okay, now here they talk about Oshino Ogi, you know, and how Nadeko says like Ogi has gone on her way. And she's like, Mr. Ogi should be moving based on eyewitnesses information. We see Ogi's just bouncing on I don't know what those are called, those playground things. Okay, I don't know why she's doing that. Anyways, so this is where to talk about alliances and the fact that, you know, yeah, like they should also make an alliance, you know, Ononoki and Nadeko to take care of that situation. It's a team battle. However, this is where Ononoki says the fact that those two are teaming up is a problem, because if Meek Nadeko falls under God Nadeko's influence, there's a possibility she'll evolve as a Shikigami. You know, so in the worst case scenario, we'll have to face two God Nadekos. At which Nadeko says, but changing God Nadeko into Meek Nadeko is also a possibility, isn't it? Or is it not possible for something like that? She says, well, if you bring a con artist or something, that's not impossible, which is true, you know, because that's literally what Kaiki did. You know, transformed God Nadeko back to the normal Nadeko. But obviously, in this situation, she doesn't want to get the specialist involved because number one, as Ononoki says, that it was my miss, obviously, so I don't want to tell them about this. And you know, this is another thing she doesn't want to tell. The reason why she doesn't want to tell this is because if you remember, in the very first episode, she literally explained how she wants to keep an eye on Tsukihi, because this all started with the whole Tsukihi situation. You know, so she will have to say every single thing. So she wants to keep this a secret because she still wants to observe Tsukihi more, because she realized that important information about Tsukihi forgetting everything and her trauma getting overwritten and forgotten. You know, so she wants to keep an eye on her and observe this peculiar phenomenon. That's why she never told the specialists like Kagenui or Gaien. She never told them any of this. So that thing is also going to come out. So she doesn't want them to get involved. That's number one reason. And number two reason, if there's a huge possibility that the specialist, especially Gaien, might try to kill the original Nadeko or like wipe her out after hearing what happened here. So there's a big possibility for that. So she doesn't want to get them involved. Okay, so there Nonoki says that now they are actually targeting you. So like and Nandiko's like, if we keep waiting here, shouldn't they just come? And she's like, yeah, it might happen, but there's a huge possibility of the Meek Nadeko to evolve. So I don't want to take that risk. So let's go and keep moving. And this is where she says that I just didn't get defeated only. I put my hand on her, like literally. And again, I love the wordplay in this show so much. She says that even though I failed, I was able to deal my hand in a certain way. And she's like, deal a hand? She's like, yeah, literally deal a hand. I've detached, my hand is detached and is clinging to God Nadeko, so I know exactly where she is. So dealt my hand while literally I literally dealt her hand. So that kind of thing. Okay, finally she put her head into her place and she's she's there. She's ready. Obviously her hand is missing. Because she has dealt her hand. So she says like, oh, just make a clay hand and just put it on my hand. It'll be fine. So there you go. So she does that, and right now, the question about Hachikuji also comes in. She's like, where is the actual god who's supposed to be here? Nadeko's like, let me, she's technically my successor, so I should kind of say hi to her. At which Onoki's like, she's not here, she's gone on a walk. And she also kind of says that it would be a problem if she was here, because then God Nadeko would probably would have tried to get her divinity away from her. And if that happens, that is troublesome. If they clashed in a bad way, God Nadeko may have taken her divinity away from her. Yeah. At which Nadeko's like, oh, but is it okay she's just strolling around if she encounters her? And and that's when Onoki's like, yeah, that is a problem, so we'll have to find them as soon as possible. This is ideally the new god. We'd like to put the new god under protection first. So we have to meet Hachikuji and, if possible, recruit her into our group and fight or go against the other Nadekos and try to get them. Oh, this is another thing she kind of says, which is very interesting. I didn't think about it. She says like, it's not a good idea to rely on a god. We have to make her take the more supportive role. At which Nadeko's like, why? And she says like, this is a problem that we brought in. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this part. This is a very important part, or very interesting part. This isn't cleaning up after the predecessor. This is cleaning up after ourselves. But if we were to receive help with no price to pay, we might lessen the trust of God. At that point, I didn't understand. I was like, wait, why? And she kind of explains why as well. She says it is natural for us to help her because obviously, she's the God here. But for her to help us would mean she favors us. And that would mean her divinity will fall. So, this whole thing about God and goddesses being, obviously, like God and goddesses should be neutral. The gods and goddesses, favors everyone equally. So if a certain god, which is Hachikuji here, favors a particular group of people more, that is going to lower her divinity, because that's the last thing a god or a goddess would do. So the more she contradicts what a god and goddess should do, the more her divinity will lower, if it makes sense. Which, I can kind of understand that, basically. So she will have to act like a god. And that's very interesting, because that means, obviously, Hachikuji, favors her friends. Definitely she'll favor them more, especially if it is something to do with Aragi. So I do wonder, like, I don't know if that's going to happen, but if in the future Aragi falls into some kind of trouble and Hachikuji is there, I 100% know Hachikuji is going to try to use her god powers to help Aragi. And if she does that, that is probably going to be the end of her divinity, wouldn't it? Like, because she's like heavily favoring someone else, one person, except being neutral. So, something like that. Yeah, anyways, oh, and this is when Nadeko's like, so can you tell me where God Nadeko is? And she's like, yeah, I put my hand on her, I didn't put my eye on her. So I can't really say where she is. I can say, like where she is, but I cannot say what they're doing. I love the face Nadeko makes her. She's like, eh? Like, really? I can only know the direction. Yeah. Okay, anyways, so she's like, let's go do it. I won't be able to use my unlimited rule book that many times. I can only use it once with my hand. So I'll try to blow both of them away at the same time. But as long as Miku Nadeko is being used as a decoy, it'll be a problem. And from this point onwards, I'll have to rely on your bravery. And Nadeko's like, wait, me? Like, and she's like, yeah, you already collected 2 Shikikamis already. And she's like, but God Nadeko is a god. And, like, you think, like, I myself can take care of 2 Shikikamis on my own? Like, how is that possible? And she's like, you're not alone. And she's like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, you took care of 2 of the Nadekos. So technically, Wrath Nadeko and, Flirty Nadeko are with you. So you're 3 of you. And this is the part where I thought at first, like, she was talking about resummoning them. And I was like, wait, if I resummon them, isn't that going to bring the trouble, like, back again? Like, they're not going to listen to us. And it's going to be a repeat of the thing. But then I realized that's not what Ononoki was trying to say. Ononoki said that in a more, I guess you could say, like, not in that sense, like, not a literal way, but in a more symbolic way, like in a more hypothetical, no, not hypothetical, what more, like metaphorical way, that, oh, both of them are inside of you because they're technically you. And the fact that you exercise both of them, you've confronted them, they are with you now. So it's 3 of you against 2 of you. Something like that, she says. Where is that part? Here we go. You exercise them. Now you are, here we go. This is the perfect way to explain it. Now you are worth 3 Nadekos. She's not talking about summoning them back. She's talking about how she is worth of 3 Nadekos now, while those are only 2 Nadekos. So current Nadeko is worth 3. And that's where it ended. Alright, fantastic episode. Like I said, as always, Monogatari episodes never miss. And yeah, so that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode number 4 of Monogatari of and Monster season. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Monogatari. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.